Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bruce, aka Haunted Husband, and welcome to CyberPunkDreams. 2090s America, torn apart by war and corporate greed. A lone traveler stands outside the gates of Cincinnati, greatest of the border cities. How far will you go to make it to the top? How far will you go to fulfill your mission? Has wonderful reviews on Steam. I've been watching this project for a while. Thought, why not me? Why not play it? Why not now? I believe it's mostly like a text game, like most of your stuff takes place in this window. But I have no idea what I'm getting into. I have no idea what this game's about, what it requires of me, so... A beginning. You crossed the Midwestern Badlands to be here. You've been sent. Others came before you, others will no doubt follow. But right now, the mission is you. If only you knew what the mission was. Cincinnati. Since the city is spread before you, horizon to horizon, a vast sore squatting on the world, 24 million people, most of it lawless slum and Favela, the last outpost of civilization on the edge of the Badlands. One of the most relevant cosmopolitan cities in the world. Is it any wonder you ended up here? You've been holed up in this vantage point for a few days now, watching, waiting, collecting yourself, getting ready to make your move. There'll be no coming back from this one. The city has a hard border with the Badlands. Getting through will be the first of many challenges. If only you had seen drifting into this place. You gained... This is all what I got. I gained 1 basic binoculars. You gain 1 desert boots. Gain 1 desert duster. Gain 1 desert gear. You gain 5 breather basic. If only you had seen... We go forward. It's a mandatory card. This card is locked open. You have to play it. Drifting in. You have exactly 1 fresh from the Badlands. You have 1 fresh from... Okay. The border. The Badlands are bleak. The border. Bleaker. Dust and the city behind. Guards drive armored patrols around a decaying no man's land. The stench of oil, minefields, razor wire. A border post... Here the same as everywhere. Heavy vehicle gate, and full body turnstiles. A wide concrete apron, the city defending itself against the Badlands, losing slowly. I can talk to the guard. If you want to get to the city, you'll have to get this over sooner or later. The step defines your character and gives you an initial weapon and equipment. Explore. There's time enough for now. You have to approach the guard sooner or later. But maybe sooner isn't your style. Let's explore. The border town. Dust, dirt, junk, people drifting in and out. Lanes to be found. A cut. Danger's eyes. The narrow interstitial gap between the city and the border. And passive behind visors, no one gets past questions. Getting into the city, your mission's clear. Get past the guards into the city. Just click me. Buried in ash, hundreds of people coming and going all the time. Stuff left behind, forgotten, dumped, or deliberately put away. You start kicking at the embers of campfires. Not long abandoned, not much. Got to get through. You know why. It just isn't quite the time to think about it yet. The last thread. Welcome, CyberPunkDreams user. Notifications in the bottom right are things happening in the world. Actions from other players or tutorials such as this one. You can dismiss them by clicking on them. If there's more content, they'll bring up dialog boxes. The typewriter text that taps out after you play the card is just for flavor. Just maybe you'll be seeing something. Okay. Breathers, little glass vials, because not all stimulants come in the form of pills. They're new. You're not even sure where you got them. As for how easy they'll be to get once you're into the city, who knows? You can use these things via your inventory. Each one will give you an action refill of 10 points, but use them sparingly. A stranger, you're new to Cinci. New to the world, not a lot of memory of what came before here, but you remember you will. Okay. The last thread, your last connection with what came before. Your training for the mission, your instructions, your entire life. They've all been set to fade like a dream until they were needed. Sustenance, hunger, the need to eat, to replenish yourself. Alertness, sleep, grit in the eyes, or as sharp as they come. Black shakes, hardship, injury, psychosis. So have I done that? I can discard it or close it. Picking it out, some kind of ring, heavy, skull, yeah. Make sure you know what else went into the fire and didn't make it out. You'll pour a little water onto it until it stops hissing. It might not be your usual style, but you can help slipping it on. Try it on. Do it. Yeah, you were lucky to find it. Most stuff gets scavenged almost instantly. Or was this luck? Maybe it was meant for you. This item has been auto-equipped for you, but you can take it off and on. Well, at the outfit tab. Up here. Accessories rings. You gain 1 ring. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm not... This place is either too damn hot or too damn cold. A few of the bearable weathers while the seasons change. But they change fast. Spring and autumn just don't exist anymore. Yes, since these seasons are sharp, abrupt, so you've heard? It's more like you can feel in your bones, just like you know. Do what? Getting hot out here. You now have temperature of 86. You're getting 1 sleeveless jacket. I don't know what I'm doing. So these are lock slots. Whatever. So I've already explored the town, done that. So you got to get through. So this is getting into the city. I think this is like leaving the city. Your last connection came from, but in your pocket's just a scrap of paper. Martha, you're in writing. That's all it says. Your instinct says to set the thing alight. You shouldn't really have it in the first place. It's too risky, too dangerous. But you can't let go of this one last thread. Do I burn it or do I keep it? Alright, let's do it. You're not just a random wanderer, not just a desperate hopeful. You were sent to complete a goal, a mission, here in Cincinnati. Grace of the Border Series, over 24 million, yeah, we know all that. Your personal heaven or your personal hell, it doesn't matter. What matters is your mission. Getting broken, getting fixed. I get one rare insight. Another footstep, then another, and another, as if they haven't walked enough. This could be a metaphor for this whole place. In this case, though, you notice a couple of guys picking over a pile of rubble. Could be something useful in there. Why not? Neither of them seem to even notice you. They just keep on talking and scuffing about. You don't overhear anything useful. They're just talking about back east, time they spent in drowned cities, as to how they ended up on the other side of the border. You pick up a fair handful. Okay, whatever. Forward. This guy's just slumped over by a wall, plugged into an old school Cinci Pierce rig. He's cleaning out of it. Looks like he's been under for days. Even if you're not the type to do it, it seems unreal that he... No, I'm not gonna steal nothing. The town is more Badlands than city. Intersexual, temporary, half between. Built from needs. The rent-a-cops, the security firms, they don't come out here. Anything goes. Anything can happen. But not everything does. Everyone here is here because they can't get in. The town serves needs. And needs are profits. Rough, hard-earned profits. A certain camaraderie. Look at this guy with a visor. Got the Hogan stash going. You now have familiar... game, okay. Oh, jeez. So all this is locked, so it does not matter? Perhaps you'll find the way through. You'll learn something either way. I mean, it's only an 8% chance of success. Two men, an alley between rough concrete walls, dust on their boots. Interesting. Do I just want to stand by and watch? Do I want to join in? Do I want to like say, hey, that's enough? Or do I want to follow the one that wins and finish them off? I have to think about that. What are these? Familiarity. Living dangerously. Why not? We don't know much about our character, so... Let's observe from the shadows. CyberPunkDreams is designed to be played in short bursts, but you always get one free binge per week and can pay credits to refill your actions at any time. Credits are also used to clear... blah, 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 blah. It doesn't last long. These things never do. One of the men lies choking in the gutter. Sly fingers lighten his pockets just a little. Guy rolls past on a crappy old wheelchair, no legs. But if you don't stare, he murmurs. Worst thing is getting ignored. You have one temperament trickster. You gain 5 dirty white capsules. You gained living dangerously. This is the life. You now have 1 psychosis. I need 10 spare parts. 20 junk. RAM. I just don't want to rob from that guy. What? There are a few peeps kicking around the guard post, just killing time, waiting their turn. Even if you've got a pass, you still got a queue. One of the guys is handling an old 6 hour 226, showing it off. Might be old, but it's been so well kept it looks brand new. That's a lot of text. The turn of the century was a golden age for guns, especially handguns, or even earlier. You get designs 2 centuries old, still in use today. I mean, just look at this thing. Once you perfect the basic design, there's just not a lot of improvement to be made. And they've made so many of them. The country was gun nuts back then. That's why you see so many of these things kicking around. I mean, sure, there are plenty of new designs around, but if you can pick up an old SIG or a Colt cheap, why bother? They stood the test of time, won't let you down. He sees you listening. Hey, new around here, right? Have this. I'll bring you luck. He flips you around and laughs. A single round, 9mm. Enthusiasm. Plead for mercy. It's only an 8% chance. Inventory. What? Yeah, this is your inventory. Items with the yellow U icon on them can be used for various effects. Just click on them. Items with a red B can be bundled. Interesting. Look, no matter what you do, I'm not going to rob that guy. Why not? Nothing perfect. Not this border, anyway. Serious, yes. Perfect, no. A motion sensor cloaked with weeds. A break in the wire. There's a way through, somewhere. Increase scoping the border to find way in. Or go back to the guard post if you prefer. You now have a skill observation at 3. Scoping border at 1. A hint, an idea. Two old timers, tough as old leather. Minutes from the city, but a world away and fence away. Walking and talking. Something worth learning? Do it. Oh my god. Everything in CyberPunkDreams revolves around the cards you have access to. You have a bank of 50 actions which recharge over time, so working out how to spend them efficiently is key to your progress. Most of the game is in the decks. You've got one right now, Borderland Life, sitting to the left of those 3 blank spaces. They constitute your hand. Drawing cards from a deck always constitutes 1 action point. Opening a card never costs an action. Okay. I'll tell you why I've got a problem. I tell you why. Clearly an old sore. Picked at over and over. I'll tell you, I fought for Ohio. You fought for Kentucky. We won, you lost. And that's fair and square. Except you just won't leave it alone. You were never even from Kentucky. I just don't get it at all. You gain 1 hard fact. How about we walk? You walk further, deeper but not too deep. Some of this place is dangerous, but none of it is as dangerous as it appears. First glances, impressions, people keep to themselves. No gang territory, and the organizations out here like the place just because they want to stay hidden. Yes, at first you thought that everyone was just waiting to get in, or enable, but it doesn't really work that way. There are people out here working at profit. People fitting in and out of the city, coming and going. People living out here for a reason. Hiding, plotting, business. What the hell is that? I got familiar too. The Good Doctor, or Dr. Feelgood if you prefer. Pharmaceuticals. So he's a vendor. Gotcha. Hey, it's the old man. Well, I'm not going to ignore him. You looking for the way in, or just bumming around? Squatting by a pile of old tires, he pulls goggles off his face, not as old as he looks at first glance. What you still doing out here? I saw you trying to get in. You got an extra appendage or somewhat? Don't want to get shot for being a freak. Or just don't want to pay their tax. Look, I don't give a crap. Damn rent-a-cops. They think they're kings of the particular hill. They are, as it happens, but it doesn't matter. There are always a few places you can sneak in. Try the river, both ends. You don't mind getting wet. Stay clear of the airport. Always sight around there. I got one route, Cincinnati Airport. Scoping the border has increased to 2. You've got an anti-static bag sewn into the lining of your coat, 2 sticks of RAM, a few fair gigs each, another kind of currency, safer to carry across the Badlands than banknotes. Maybe it's time to cash them. Although you're pretty sure you could get more if you wait till you get in the city. Always a choice to be made. The funny thing is, it could easily be 50 years old, and they're still in demand. It's not because they're antiques that they're valuable. Modern apps are hungry for more memory than ever. Silicon's hard to come by in the streets. I think we'll hold on to them. The place was never meant to be safe. Always got to keep your wits about you out here, anywhere, but even then, it doesn't take much long. He pushes you hard and he makes the snatch, knocks you off balance. Nothing for it. Can't afford to lose your stuff. You're about to enter a dynamic scene. Catch his teeth before he manages to get away. Burn. Look lively now. You now have time remaining at 18. You have after them at 2. Your opposition armor has increased. You now have irritation at 2. Like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. You're gonna have to work it hard if you want to catch them. Know how to run and know this town. You're locked into this chase. You can still break out of the inventory items. You can still break out to use those inventory items. Get after them up to 15, get an opportunity to catch them. Don't psych yourself up for this one. No, I don't need that. Then you'd be in the weapons tab to use that. There is no weapons tab, so... Alright, pull the air into your lungs, get the adrenaline pump, let's go. You feel it hit you, cold and clean, heart rate going up, legs pumping. I got a high. I got a bunch of cards. You need a minimum of 2 and a max of 16. You're still not close enough to catch them, not by a margin. You got to work harder if you're going to get them. You did a great one. Maybe not easy, but getting there. It feels good. 17, look lively now. Oi. Seems like they figured they know the board town better than you. This spot's rough, in a literal sense. A gully filled with concrete and a building hardcore no one's bothered to scavenge. Gotta be the toughest and fast to match your target over this stretch. %45 chance of success. Probably not gonna work in my favor, but they're good, better than you. They dive into this gully. Not just where they're going. Each footstep controlled, precise, clumsy in comparison. You trip on an unstoppable block of bricks on a wall, stumble, manage not to go down. You scramble after them. I'm gonna keep pace. I'm gonna sprint. I mean, eventually these numbers have to fall in my favor, right? I mean, you have a 45% chance, you still have a 45% chance of... Like, I've never seen so many bad rolls in my life. You know what? If my margin is so bad, then why don't I just go for the higher plays? Well, throwing something has a 50-50 chance of success. I mean, these are some of the worst rolls I've ever seen. I'm out of time, right? I have to be out of time. What a giant fucking waste of time. I didn't read any of that last text, so fuck it. I mean, seriously, like... Even at 45% chance, you still have a 45% chance of it succeeding. And to have so many of those fail in a row. I mean, we failed, what, 9 in a row? That's... You've turned me into a bad guy. Now I'm just gonna just plow through this. Hard to believe that the land stretching out to the west of here used to encompass one of the world's greenest bread baskets. Hard to believe that everyone stood by and did nothing while it turned to dust. Aquifers dried up, rainfall patterns changed, more and more chemicals during the toxic wasteland. And desert, people, greenery, blah blah blah. You lost a stranger. If you're still interested, that is, maybe you should be. Even if you're free to come and go through the gates, an alternative might be useful. You have a way through a border at 1. People sell all kinds of stuff at the market. Well, markets. One of those places out around the borderline where people gather to sell. One of the west gates semi-permanent, others come and go. I like this guy squatting next to a rough wooden box full of paper magazines, probably decades out of date, if they're clean enough to read. The one on top is a Time magazine from 2 decades ago, telling a conceptual plan to repopulate Los Angeles. Like that's ever going to happen over all these years. Ancient news. You're not the only one trying to get through. More importantly, others already know the way. You just need to make sure you're in the right spot to watch someone. You find a decent spot. It was always going to be impossible to watch someone make their way entirely, especially after dark. But you see someone make their way most of the way, okay? You know this no man's land a little now. You have to know that there's plenty of hidden or discarded. Okay. If you fail, try again. If you succeed, try again. You never know what you'll turn up out there. The remains of a campfire, an abandoned vehicle, small stash, a dead body. Got my Zerb skill to 4. 3 electronic components. Found some copper wire and a spare part. I think I'm gonna watch and wait again. The game is poker, 5-stud, frayed, grumpy cards, played on an old oil drum, limited slow. Who has the hard cash in around anyway? A gambler, a thief? No, that isn't you. Maybe you did something once. You walk away. That isn't you. Not your scene. Not your thing. Stand by and watch this time. Temperament watcher at 1. Living dangerously. This is the life. You gain 1 rumor. You never see the faces properly. One's left moaning in the dust. The other walks away. No death. Does that disappoint? Did I gain 1 hardship? Doesn't say I did, but I now have 1 over here. Whenever I got that. You've got a whole load going down. Got to keep track somehow. If you don't see anything here, you just continue diving. Okay, good. Sit and watch. The main thing is you heard that this place is dirty and dangerous. Look in the wrong direction, the wrong person, just avoid getting stabbed or glassed. You know what I'm going to watch again? You heard some things, know some things, where the best places are to go digging, blah blah blah. I have 4. There's a wide drunken crap around the shady before you can discuss disused gas stations, old cars, blah blah. Forget about it. Sometimes you just came. Maybe you know a few people who might be interested in the kind of gossip. Others who might not take kindly to being talked about. Yeah, I'm not going to sell my rumors. Politics, fear, or the politics of fear. Just a few hundred yards separate the city from the dusty town of trash and desperation, and you're out here. Just why is this border here? You gain 1 pattern. There's all about cities bordering the Badlands having the walls wall themselves off, but they all do, keeping the mutants out. That's the watchword. As if the odd mutant were a threat. The real agenda is keeping people cowed. That and the shuffling public money, blah blah blah. The city is so near you can smell it. A vast warren of slums, buttoned hard up against the border. The shining towers of police zones, where law and order still hold sway in reality as with theory. place they call Cinci. On the other side, fading out to the west, south of the border, Mirror Shanty Town. Let's wait. Not hard to hear rumors, loosely organized, bloody not to death, not usually. You know the price of hanging around these bouts is paying up, making a bet. If you've really got the not the cash, you just have to chance it. I just have to walk away. See if I can find some scraps. I gained 4 ammo. That's interesting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for my look at Cyberpunk Dreams. I could just endlessly click on this thing. So it's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure, deck builder, a branching story paths, multiple endings type of situation. It's very interesting. It's not what I was expecting, mind you. If you enjoyed watching the game, there'll be a link to it in the description below. You can go pick it up for yourself on Steam. It's free to play, so try it out. If you enjoyed watching me play it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You can find me streaming at Twitch at Haunted Husband, Twitch Haunted_Husband as well. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and as always, I'll haunt you later.